We're here to announce the filing of a complaint, a wrongful death complaint. Dylan Taylor was riding his bicycle to work on May 7th. He was working at the school down the street, riding in the bicycle lane, designated lane on Middlefield Road. A waste truck, green waste, was riding in the same direction as he was. Hit him, knocked him over, and then ran over him as he was lawfully riding his bicycle. What we hope to come from this lawsuit is not only justice and accountability for Dylan's death, but also to change the way that the trucks in our community, how they work, how they drive, and to make them pay attention to the bicycles and the pedestrians that they should be looking out for and sharing the roads with. We hope that there will be an accountability for his life, a legacy to him, and that these trucks will be more safe for our community. On the day of the incident, the truck driver was not paying attention to where he was, and these trucks are between 40,000 pounds. The mass of these trucks is extraordinary, and they need to look out at all times, according to the laws, at all times, what is around them and where the pedestrians and bicyclists are, as well as other vehicles. And that's what we're here about, to make sure that the laws are followed and that there's safety for all of us in our community. This young man was 30. He was beloved in the community. This is a loss for this community as well as for his parents, Michael and Christy. He was a coach for football at Menlo Atherton High School, and he also coached at Insnell Elementary School and also in the Menlo Park schools. He was somebody who, when he had the memorial, there was standing room only at the community center. 10 people deep trying to get into the room to show their respects for this man who was so beloved. There was a Menlo Atherton football team in their t-shirts trying to show their love and respect for him. He is a loss to these parents who are grieving profoundly, but also a loss to this community. I'm going to ask now his father, Michael Taylor, to come up and say a few words to you. Michael?
Thank you all for coming. I just want to explain that Dylan was a paraeducator for the Lantrata Middle School, where he was helping students with special needs. He was well loved by his students, their parents, and his co-workers. Dylan was a respected youth sports coach. He coached basketball and track and field, and like Mary mentioned, was the freshman football coach at Menlo Atherton High School. He was always cheerful, enthusiastic, and energetic. Always had a smile on his face. Dylan strived to improve others, and he always tried to set a positive example. He was enrolled at Kenyatta College in order to become a behavioralist. He wanted to improve himself so that he could expand his knowledge and his skills so he could help more people. Dylan was a hard worker. He was always eager to volunteer for school and community events. He single-handedly organized and managed local softball team. He also created an Everyone is Welcome Ultimate Frisbee League. Christy and I lost our son, and the community lost a leader. who was killed in the prime of his life. No parent should be subjected to the pain and grieving that Christy and I are enduring. He suffered serious injuries and unfortunately did not succumb to his injuries until after being transported to Stanford Hospital. I want to thank all of the paramedics, first responders, and medical personnel who tried to save our son's life. His trauma should never have happened, and we believe that Green Waste is responsible for the wrongful death of our son. It's our expectation that Green Waste accept this responsibility and improve their training, their hiring, and their supervision of their employees so that tragedies such as this never happen again. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. I'm going to ask now for Christy, his mother, to come forward. Christy.
As you've already heard from Michael and Mary, our only son, Dylan Taylor, was killed by a senseless tragedy in the prime of his life. He was hit and then run over by a Green Waste garbage truck while he was riding his bicycle in the bike lane with his helmet on. Dylan was a beloved son, brother, grandson, uncle, and friend. He was a coach, a mentor, an educator of children with special needs, and so much more. He brought joy to everyone he came in contact with, and he would give the shirt off his back if that's what you needed. He was a helper. He was kind and loving, and he was just a big teddy bear of a man. He gave the best hugs in the world. We were so lucky to have him living close by, and we saw him often. His loss leaves a gaping hole in our lives that can never be filled. The day he was killed was the worst day of our lives. I'm continually haunted by the words of the doctor telling us he had died, and then sitting with his lifeless body, touching him, holding him while we sobbed. It replays horrifically in my mind over and over and over. The grief is still all-encompassing and overwhelming, and we will never be the same. The pain of losing him is unbearable, and we miss him more than words can say. Nothing can bring him back, but Green Waste needs to be held accountable. This didn't have to happen, and they've torn our family apart. Thank you.
Thank you, Christy. We'll take questions now. Yes.
Could you tell me a favorite memory of your son that encapsulates his personality? Something, whether from childhood or the teenage years when he's moody and changing to young adulthood.
Come on.
I talked about this at his memorial, but we have 3 grandchildren, and he was the beloved uncle, and they loved him so much, and they miss him so much. And he loved to play with them, and we would all be at our house, and they would demand that he play a game called Monster. And we never really knew what that game was, but we could hear them upstairs running around and yelling and screaming, and he would come downstairs all hot and sweaty, and they would yell for him to come back and play more, and he would grudgingly go back up the stairs and play more Monster with them.
Did he have a particular toy when he was little? Did he have anything he liked? Did he like cars? Did he like monster movies?
He loved Pokemon. He was a collector of cards. He had a Pokemon blanket. He had Pokemon sweatshirts. What else?
There's just so much. He was a very social guy. Everybody that met him comments on his smile. He's never in a bad mood. When he was growing up, that wasn't always the case. But He did love to collect Pokemon cards, like Christy said, and that carried on. He had Friday night game nights at his apartment with his friends and his colleagues. He continued to do that. He would have draft night parties at his apartment.
I'm dreading football season because he loved it so much, and we would be texting during 49er games and sometimes watching them together with the grandchildren, and we're going to miss that terribly.
And when did he start cycling?
It's not like he was a cyclist. He just rode his bike to work.
Just trying to help the environment kind of thing.
Yeah.
So with the turnout at his memorial, and also one of his schools that he worked at wrote about his life and legacy, how did that make you feel? What was the kind of community impact from seeing that?
So we were overwhelmed and just so proud, and we knew that he was a big part of the community and was a helper and knew so many people, but we didn't understand the level that it was, and we're just completely overwhelmed and proud when we walking into the memorial was one of the hardest things we've ever done, and there were so many people, and it was so heartwarming, but just kind of incredible and unexpected.
His ultimate Frisbee league that he created, everyone is welcome, everybody plays, changed the name from Menlo Park Ultimate Frisbee to the Dylan Taylor Ultimate Frisbee League. And we're so proud, again, that's the influence and the impact that he had.
And he wasn't a great ultimate Frisbee player. and that's why he started his own league, because he had been in leagues where they were judgy and like he wasn't good enough. And so he started a league with kids and parents, and anybody who wanted to play could come and play. And that's why he was so loved.
Thank you.
One more?
For yourself, Mary.
Yes.
So, like his parents said, you're pursuing this action against green waste recovery or recycling recovery. Why is it that you specifically chose to pursue the company and on the charges of wrongful death?
This case is being pursued against green waste recovery because of the negligence of the driver and the negligence of the company. That when someone is driving a truck like this, a 30 to 40,000 pound truck, the law is that you have to be aware at all times what's around your vehicle and to watch out for bicyclists and pedestrians and other vehicles, and they failed to do it. And they failed to train and supervise this driver, and the driver was negligent, and because of it, it struck Dylan as he was riding lawfully in this designated bicycle lane and then ran over him, ultimately causing his death. The doctors tried to save him and they couldn't. And so he is sorely missed by his parents and the community.
Is it your belief that it's a company-wide culture of negligence for these drivers or unsupervision?
It is a company-wide problem of green waste. They have a history of accidents. They have a history of not only vehicle accidents, but killing pedestrians and bicyclists. And so we hope through this lawsuit that we'll be able to change that culture, force them to operate safely when they are doing this service for the public and for the community. We need to have our community members protected, and we also want justice and accountability for Dylan.
Is that why within the complaint you're pursuing a trial by jury for this case?
We are asking in this lawsuit for a trial by jury, that a jury will hear this case and will hear the facts and will hold Green Waste accountable for this death.
I know you just filed it, but has it been a response from Green Waste yet?
We filed it yesterday, and we have not served them yet, but we will immediately, and then their response will be due.
Is there a certain amount you're seeking in damages?
Now, under the law, we do not put into the complaint the amount that we are seeking, but we hope that a jury will see the value and in Dylan's life to the parents and to the community, and that they will hold Green Waste accountable.
Mr. Christie, Mr. Michael, did you say Dylan was your only son or only child?
Only son.
What age is he in the,
So,
He was our youngest.
yeah,
is the baby? Baby of?
2.
Anyone else? All right, thank you very much.